Saturday night, the big story, in my opinion, coming out of World Series of Fighting was that Nick Newell, who, we didn't see this on the horizon. There were no signs of this. Relatively young in the sport, relatively new to World Series of Fighting. Of course, not that long ago, fought for their belt, just 29 years young. Announced his retirement after his win on Saturday night against Tom Marcelino, a local fight for him. He goes out on a win, has won his last 2 in a row, but we wanted to dig a little deeper here, talk to him about it, where this announcement came from. So he's kind enough to join us via the magic of Skype. There he is, notorious Nick Newell himself. Nick, how are you?
I'm good.
Well, thank you for joining us. You kind of chuckled there. I kind of get where you're coming from. 2 days later, what's it like, hearing that you're a retired MMA fighter now?
It was the right decision for me. I feel in the end, time will tell. But for me, it's been really tough training for these fights. I feel like I've underperformed my last 3 fights, and I felt like really it was out of my control. I've been dealing with a lot of injuries throughout my fight camps, and they just, every time it seems like I get some momentum going, I get hurt and I can't do anything. So I got to take it easy, and I got to not train, and I got to step back. And then when I fight, my cardio becomes an issue because I haven't been training as hard as I should be when I have these important fights coming up. And it just seems like I have a bunch of things that keep coming back, even if I take care of them proper. And it's just a little overwhelming for me. So, I don't want to treat my fans or anyone that likes me to a watered down version of me. I want the best version of me possible. And I just felt like it was time to step away.
When did you come to the conclusion that you would be retiring on Saturday?
I've been thinking about it for a while, especially right before my title fight. I dealt with a lot, and I pushed through it, and I was fine. I thought it would be a one-time thing, and then it happened again my fight after that, and then it happened again this time. And really, for this fight, I only got to train for like a week and a half, 2 weeks for it, because I completely hurt my back. I couldn't even move. I looked like a 90-year-old man walking around. But I really wanted to do this fight, and I really thought that I would be able to perform, and my performance was not to my standards. It's not the type of performance that I would want people to remember me for, and it's not the type of performance that I have shown in the past that I'm capable of much better. And I just don't want to have my career be like that. I want to be an entertaining fighter. And, at the end of the day, it is about winning and doing your best. And I don't feel like I can perform at my best anymore.
Is it possible after 2 years, you heal up, you don't go through a rigorous training camp, a fight, you feel back to your old self? Do you think there's a chance that you will change your mind and come out of retirement?
I never say never, because you don't know. Only time will tell. But for now, I have a bunch of things that I need to take care of to set up for my future, and things that I need to do to make sure that as I get older, I'm financially set, and a bunch of things that I just need to work on first. And I need to see how my body heals. I need to see how I can handle training, and I need to see stuff like that. But I have a lot on my plate right now, and a lot of things I want to get accomplished outside of fighting. And I was going to do those at a later date and wait and keep pushing it back for fighting. And really, my body's not agreeing with me, and I just want to listen to it. I don't want to be that guy that goes out there and fights and gets his ass kicked by someone that shouldn't be beating him up just because I want to collect a paycheck.
What are some of those things at the top of your list that you want to accomplish now?
1 second, my computer randomly kicked off the video.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Okay, wait. Yeah, I can hear you. I want to open up my own gym. I've been thinking about, and just a few other little business projects. World Series of Fighting has been great to me. So I have nothing really bad to say about them. They they take good care of me, and maybe they'll have something for me to do on the side, behind the scenes. But for now, I just like I don't feel like I can make it through a full training camp anymore.
Did you tell Ali or Ray Sefo, any of the guys at World Series of Fighting, that you were going to announce this after the fight?
No, I did not. I didn't tell them because I didn't want it to be a thing. I didn't want
Sure.
it to be like, oh, this is Nick. Oh, I didn't want my opponent to know it either. Because sometimes when you have it in the back of your mind, it kind of says you already have one foot out the door and you're not really ready to do this. And I didn't want him to feel like that was an advantage. So there was a bunch of things involved in it, but I just kind of really just decided it the day
Oh,
of
really?
the fight. I was like, you know what? I said, this is the last time. I can't do this anymore.
Did you tell anyone?
No.
Family, coach, no one?
No, I discussed it with my coach. My coach I'm super close with him. And we discussed it in the past and worked on some things, and he gave me some tips on life and business and stuff like that. But I didn't want him to know either. I just wanted to just announce it on my own. I just wanted it to be a thing.
You were obviously very emotional. There's no questioning that. It's obvious why. I mean, this is a big deal, and most athletes are pretty emotional when they announce their retirement. I could tell to a degree you're somewhat emotional now. Do you feel that way because you're not going out on your terms? You would have preferred to have a longer career, and you feel like it's the injuries that are pushing you out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some things I would a couple more things I'd like to accomplish and things I'd like to do. I feel like I've done a lot. My type of personality is I'll never be satisfied with anything. There'll always be more that you can do. But for me, my body just isn't listening anymore, and it's just a very hard thing. It's very emotional. These past couple fights, going through and doing it, and I mean, if you watch a fight, you could see I got tired in the third round, and I got tired in the third round in the fight before that, and I got tired in the second round against Gagey, and it's like that's not how I am. I've always been a guy with good cardio, and I've been finishing these fights in the first round before this. Because I've had such great cardio that I can push a pace like that for the entire fight. So I would be a quick starter. I'd start super fast and be able to take these guys out real fast. And I just can't do that anymore because I can't train like that. And I feel like I'm not the same, savage young kid. I know I'm only 29, but I've been going since I was 14 years old. I started wrestling. I never stopped. Summer, while everyone was hanging out, I was training. I'm always training. I'm always working to get better. I've never been the kid that is a natural at anything. So really, I need to step back, and I need to just take some time for me. And I feel like it's time for me to start working on some other things and just step away from the sport.
How much we've talked about this in the past, the fact that you never got that opportunity, even though you thought you deserved it, and many people as well, to fight in the UFC. How much did that dream keep you going, and how much does it bother you that you walk away now with never getting that opportunity?
For a while that really was what I wanted, and I thought that was what I needed to justify a good career, is to get in there. But really, I don't need anyone to say whether I'm good enough or not. I know I'm good enough. I know that I could beat most of the guys in there. And if they didn't want me, they didn't want me. I'm not going to resent that. That's going to be the least of my worries or things that I think about in retirement. They had a chance, and World Series took me, and they took good care of me. So I'm fine with them. I'm not gonna beg anyone to hire me or have me fight for them. World Series gave me a chance. I went 4-1 in their organization. They're one of the biggest organizations in the world, and I'm okay with fighting for them.
What was going through your mind mentally once you made that decision going into the fight? You're in your home state. You have a lot of friends and family in attendance. You know in the back of your mind this could be your last fight. There's some pressure involved there. Like, how were you a nervous wreck before the fight? Were you calm? Take us inside your mind.
I was. My mind was racing. There was definitely a lot on my mind during that fight. I have an excellent coach, Jeremy Levashevsky at Fighting Arts Academy. It's a smaller team, but we have a lot of good guys, a lot of really talented guys at that gym, and I'm the center of attention, when I have a fight camp, and I really like that, and I really owe my career to this man and everything I've accomplished. And we came up with this good game plan, and I've always been like a guy that listens to him, and it was to just kind of do a slower pace and pick my shots and be technical and striking. But I just got nervous, and I was like, this is my last fight, and I just wanted to win. So I turned it more into a wrestling match and kind of held top position. And it's not something I'm proud of. I definitely won the fight. There's no question about that. But was it something that I even am ever going to watch? No, I'll never even watch it because I'm just not happy with my performance. And if I'm going to do that and I'm not happy with my last couple of performances, I just think it's time. It's just time.
What was going on between you and him? I was told from someone in attendance that in your post-fight interview, he was doing push-ups behind you. I did not see this, so I don't know if it's 100% accurate. But what was it? Felt like afterwards there was some bad blood there. What was going on?
Well, I didn't really hurt him that badly. I caught him with a good elbow, and I controlled him pretty much the entire fight with takedowns, and I 100% won the fight. It's not even a question. Everyone in attendance, every website said I won, but somehow he thought he did, which is crazy because he did absolutely nothing to me. So I said, hey man, I said good fight. Wasn't the greatest fight I've ever had, but I appreciate you bringing it, and I wish we could have hurt each other a little more, but that's not the way it happened. And he's like, you lost. And I was like, no, actually I know I won because they raised my hand, so I definitely won, and you definitely lost. So that's that. And he said, no, you lost. I said, get out of my face, bro. So then they went to do the interview, and I was talking to Joey, and he starts doing push-ups behind me, and so I called him a jabroni, and and then I announced my retirement. But afterwards he sent me a message online, and he apologized for it. And emotions are a thing that you really get caught up in them and in a fight. So I don't hold any ill will towards him, and it was kind of funny more than anything else. I don't really get insulted, and nothing really bothers me that much. So respect to him. He was I think an underdog in this fight, and he did a pretty good job, I thought. So props to him, and I wish him nothing but the best. But it was a little weird that he was doing push-ups behind me
Right.
when I was trying to talk.
So maybe this answer will change in a few years, but I'm wondering now, when Nick Newell reflects on his career, what was the best moment? What was the high point? You felt the best about yourself, your fighting. You weren't, you couldn't have been any happier. Is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, my biggest moment probably was winning the XFC title. That was pretty cool. I was a big underdog at the time. Eric Reynolds beat a bunch of good fighters. He was on a hot streak, and it was just kind of cool. The environment and everything was super cool. I really like that. I really like my first hometown fight, which was my last one, versus Joe Condon. The experience was really cool, and the crowd was really live, and I didn't know that many people from Connecticut really appreciated what I did and supported me. So that was awesome. And then there was like a lot of little things, like my pro debut, all my friends that came out, all the way up in Plymouth. I live in Southern Connecticut, so it was about like a 4-hour drive. So it's just cool seeing how my friends and family supported me. And then, all the people I meet through the internet that have been able to encourage me and support me, and the kids I've gotten to speak to that have one hand, or, people that have cerebral palsy a lot reach out to me, and people reach out to me and ask me for advice. I give them advice. I've helped kids learn how to tie their shoes and do stuff like that. So it feels good to give back. And if I wasn't beating people up, I wouldn't have been able to do stuff like that. It's kind of weird how the world works. I hurt people in the cage, but then I help people as soon as I get out of it. So that's a very rewarding spot. There's just so many things. I owe a lot to MMA, and I have nothing to say about anyone who I've ever fought, or anyone that I fought for, any organizations. I'm just very grateful.
I like to call you Mr. Must See TV because it's always so amazing watching you fight. Inspiring is probably the better word. Even I was watching on Saturday with my wife, and she does not like MMA, but she watched every second of your fight because you must watch when Nick Newell is watching. And of course, you mentioned being an inspiration for younger kids. And I'm wondering if you're okay with that kind of legacy. If at the end of the day, people say that Nick Newell was the congenital amputee who fought and had I believe it was a 13-1 record and fought for a belt and won a belt in another organization, are you okay with that being your legacy? Sort of to a degree the way people talk about Jim Abbott. He had his moments as well, a no-hitter, all that stuff, but that always comes up in the first couple lines. Are you okay with that, or would you prefer it not be that way?
Do I have a choice?
In a perfect world.
The world's as perfect as it can get.
Sure.
This is the way the world is, and I think overall I'll be remembered as a good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a part of who I am. It's not who I am, but it's a part of it, and it's a big part, and it makes me stand out. And if that's how I'm going to be remembered, that's how I'm going to be remembered. And when I started fighting, I kind of figured that that's how I'd be remembered, but it wasn't why I did it. I don't go out. I've never gone out to be like, I'm going to show the world. Like, to me, it's not a big deal. Anything's always been capable. Anyone's always been I'm sorry. It's always been possible for anyone to do anything if they put their mind to it. So, I just, it's always been nothing to me, and it's something to a lot of people though. So that means a lot to me, that it means a lot to other people that I'm out there doing it with one hand, even though it's not a big deal to me, it is to other people. So it's cool that I can touch people in that way.
In the last 36 hours or so, have you received a lot of messages? When these things happen, when someone retires, people feel the need, or it leads to people telling you when they weren't telling you beforehand what you meant to them, the kind of inspiration you were to them. Have you received things like that in the last 36 hours?
Yeah, it was really cool. A lot of the messages and stuff I got from people. I don't know how to turn the vibrate feature off of my phone. I know how to put it on silent, but it's like shaking the whole time. So I'm trying to hang out with my girlfriend and watch a movie yesterday. I kind of just wanted to relax a little bit, and you could hear my phone just like shaking over in the corner like the whole time. So I had to turn it off for a little bit, and just so I could just kind of spend some family time and just kind of relax, because I go away from home for my training camps. I'm not home a lot, and I travel, and it's very hectic. So if I like to relax a little bit after I'm done, and it was crazy. And today I kind of had some time when she went to work to really check all the messages and all the things that people left me, and it kind of made me cry a little bit. I was like thinking that there was some dust in the air or something. I started cleaning the house a little bit, but it wasn't the house. The house was clean. It's that these people are getting me choked up.
It's a beautiful thing. It's well deserved. So next step for you, try and open that gym?
Yeah, I'd like to do that, and I'd like to do some things behind the scenes, and maybe some things in front of the camera.
Okay.
I've done commentary in the past. Maybe start off with a league and just kind of show people that I'm actually very intelligent and very good at it, and work my way up. Maybe some PR stuff. I don't know. I got to see what kind of opportunities are open and what kind of positions people would be comfortable putting me in. But I'm the type of person that whenever I do something, I'm gung ho and I really take it super serious and hit the ground running. So we'll see. Only time will tell. I fought on Saturday. It's Monday,
Sure.
so I really haven't been searching too much for anything. I go on vacation on Thursday for like 10 days.
Nice.
So when I get back from there, I'm gonna start from there and just kind of see what I can get and what I can do and work on doing my own thing and just setting myself up financially for my future.
I think you'd be great in all of those roles and then some. It has been a pleasure. It has been an honor to cover your fighting career. I'm looking forward to what you do next. Congratulations on a tremendous career. Like I said, you were an inspiration, but also a great fighter. I mean, your fights were always fun. Mr. Must-See TV, no doubt about it. And it's been a lot of fun to watch this journey. So best of luck to you, my friend. All the best in retirement. Enjoy retirement life at 29 years old. It's a funny thing saying that to a young man like yourself, but I wish you the best. I thank you for coming on the show, and keep us posted on what's next for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Nick Newell. Big news for him. Whoop, as my Bob Sapp CD falls over. Like I said, 29 years old, 13-1. A great guy with a very bright future, even if it's not inside the cage. But a huge part of World Series of Fighting for the last 5 fights. One of their more recognizable stars, popular stars. So they'll miss him. And I would imagine that they would want him to keep fighting. Remember, he headlined that first and only NBC show against Justin Gaethje on July 5th, 2014. I maintain that fight should have been alone, not the same night or day as UFC 175, but that's how those things go. Nothing to be ashamed of for Nick Newell. Again, like I said to Rick Hahn, congratulations on going out your way.